Hi everyone, Paul ISM, welcome to the At the Bench update. So it's early Sunday morning, it's about 11 AM, the family's gone out for the day, well the afternoon, and I'm going to do this quick bench update before I start my modelling hangout with all the guys in the modelling group. So mainly we've come to talk about the results of the spoons. You may remember these from last time. If you're on Facebook or my Paul ISM page, you'll already know the results, but I'll talk about them in a little bit more depth in a minute. I'll also show you the BMW and the Porsche, which you can just see peeking through over there. They've been fully decaled and 2K'd now as well. And very quickly, the F1 build, the open wheel racer build, ends on the 16th of April. Of all the dates I had to pick, that would have been my dad's birthday, and it's 10 years this year since I lost him. So why I picked that date, I don't know, but it just happened to be 2 months along from the last build. So yeah, one of those ones, but hey, it's one of them things. I've not taken part myself. The bike kind of took over my interest as such. My Lotus kit's still there. I will do it at some point. I've got a detail up set for it and a paint set for it there, and I will get to it. But the bike just drew all my interest. And I know I had a bit of a nightmare. I had a nightmare against the Tech 3. Right now I know what the problem is. So we've resolved that. I found some great decals at, oh god, what's it called? TB, is it TB decals? I can't remember. I remember I put the link in the chat down below. And ordered some decal sets, including the Laguna Seca Tech 3 bike. So the same bike are screwed up. Well, they got screwed up. And it's a different scheme. Rather than the yellow, it's red and blue. And it looked fantastic. I bought 2 sets of decals because, as I said, my goal is to either get 2 kits, so I've got spare decals, or replacement decals, and I'm nearly done. I went through this week and decided that I've had loads of detail upsets. I had about 5 or 6 of the things. Every bike build I've gone to do, I thought I'll use that. I thought, no, I don't want to. I'm quite happy building out of the box. The bike kits are great out of the box. Need a little bit of tweaking here and there. I've super detailed 2 bikes. I did my ZXRR Kawasaki and the Ducati Senna Panigale. And whilst I have fun doing it, it makes it a long process of the build. And I've done it. I'm happy I've done it. I'm going to move on now, and I'm more than happy with building these out of the box. Now, although I have big detail upsets, this is an example. This is one I've got left. I really want NSR 500 for the 99 Tamiya kits. Let me know. 20 quid posted. It's a Scale Productions. They're out of Scale Motorsport, sorry. They're out of production now. You can't get them anymore. So this is for the Nastro Azzurro bike of Rossi's, the Repsol Honda, and the Movie Star bike as well, which are all above me. Really nice set, but I'm getting rid of that. It's the only one left. So I decided it kind of takes away a bit from the build for me. I'm happy building out the box, I'll move them on. So what I've done, I've reinvested that money into decals. I bought loads of aftermarket schemes, some spare schemes, some fork sets, because the fork sets are worth adding. You can buy loads of little bits and bobs from Top Studio, which are worth adding, like the shift lever, foot pegs, the cable tensioner parts, and they're just little bits and bobs to add, and not a full detail upset, which can be quite daunting and involved to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Keep it simple. I enjoy the simpler builds. I don't like super detail on the cars. I've done it. They look great. But for me, it takes away from the build. The reason I do this, bring them to me. The reason I do this is for fun. And that's the way I want to keep it. So it was gutting that those Tech 3 decals went down the Swan. I boxed that kit back up. I stuck it on eBay, selling it as part started. I then thought, you know what? I'm not going to let that beat me. Took it back down off eBay, and last night I stripped all the panels. I let the 2K soaking in leveling thinner for about 3 hours. Most of it floated off. The rest of it is soaking in a bit of IPA. And I'm going to flat it all today, re-glue the tank, because it's split with the leveling thinner. I'm going to reprime it, and that can sit and be done with it again. I've got another Tech 3 bike up there with no decals, but I've bought decals now. So we'll approach these and do it. And like I say, other than the Nastro Azzurro bike, Rossi's first 500 GP bike, I've got them all doubled up now. So I'm covered. If anyone knows of that bike for sale, it's the Nastro Azzurro. I think it's a 99 NSR 500 Honda. Please let me know. Preferably in the UK, because the customs and postage costs can get me. But if it's cheap enough, please, if you let me know if you see one. There's a couple on eBay at extortionate prices, which is just crazy. It's more like 98 quid, which is ridiculous. But that's the only one I need now, and I'm happy to crack on. I've got spare decals, and we go through the kit with the decals. I can pass those decals on to somebody else and build a different scheme in that bike. So I sold quite a bit lately. I've also reinvested back in, so I've got loads of stuff on the way. When it arrives, I'll show it all, because some really cool decal schemes I've not seen before. So I will pop them in when we're done. And that's it. So that's where we're at with the bikes. I'm itching to get back on a bike. I want these two done first, and I'm going to pick another one. I don't know what to do yet. I honestly don't know what to do. I'm tempted to buy another Yamaha YZR, the white one, the anniversary one. I've got two of those kits now. I bought another one the other day. Or I might do one of the NSR 500s. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'll decide when I get to it. Or the Desmo Sedici, maybe. Oh, paint on my arm. Oops. So that's where we're at with that. So we'll be back in a bike. I'm not going to video build one as people keep asking me. Maybe later down the line I will, but for now we're not going to. And now I'm waffling. So let's. There's anything else to talk about? Group builds. There's no more buddy builds on the way. Myself and Sam are building the Beamers in a minute. I may do another buddy build later on. I don't know. Not really got any ideas. I mean, if you've got any ideas, pop them in the chat down below. I'm always open for suggestions. I'd say do a bike one, but I don't want to put pressure on and it ruin the build for me. Sounds mental, but I am mental, so it works like that. Right, let's go overhead. Let's have a look at the builds. Let's have a look at those spoons. Right, I'm going to quickly go through the cars where we're at with these and we'll have a look at those spoons. Oh my god, spoons. Right, so this is the Jägermeister Porsche. This is where we're currently at with it. As you see, we've got a pretty decent 2K on it. It's not perfect because I did something slightly different on this one. This has got the same Winsor Newton clear coat I put on that test spoon. I just wanted to see how it would react on a full-size model and just see how it would go down. And yeah, I think I'm only going to use that if I really have to, because I've got a little bit of orange peel here and there. You can actually see it in the finish. I'll be able to polish most of that out. It's worse on the side in my opinion. It's a funny old body, this. Even the other car looked exactly the same. It looks as though the body's really thick when it's not. But the 2K's still gone down well. She's nice and shiny. Just needs a real good flat and a real good buff up. And I'm sure it'll look really well. A good looking car. I've got another one on the stash. I bought two of them. So I'm probably going to grab the Rothman scheme, aftermarket scheme for it. But yeah, it just goes to show if you don't need to put another clear coat on, don't. And I put it on a little bit thicker on this as well, which I think is what was detrimental to it, especially the spoiler. The spoiler is especially kind of orange peeled, and I would say, yeah, we should get it back with a polish. At the end of the day, it's a 15 quid kit. I'm not all that bothered, but it's just one of those things. So that shouldn't be too difficult to finish off. Not a lot to do. We got the Beamer done as well, the E30 M3. She's turned out really well. Did something a little different on this one. I thinned the 2K a little bit more on the last coat. First coat was 2:1 harder thinner. Harder thinner. 2:1 clear to thinner, so 2 parts clear to 1 part thinner. Left 10 minutes of the second coat with 5% thinner, and the third coat with another 5%. Another 10% thinner added, and it's not quite as good as usual. So I'm going to stick to the original 5% and not bother thinning the last coat again. I'm just tweaking little bits here and there, nothing that gives too detrimental effect, but just enough to see if it makes a difference, and it doesn't. So again, we'll flat this, give it a real good polish, and it's going to look really good. It's a cracking scheme. Those decal cast decals were absolutely lovely. They went down really well. And yeah, I can't fault them at all. Very simple scheme, but again, still iconic as well. Boot spoilers done as well. Kept it all separate, as are the wing mirrors, and we are ready to go. So they were done on Friday morning, Sunday now, so they're technically dry enough to handle, in my opinion. So I've also painted, primed, and painted all the chassis, the interior cabin part of the kit, the roll cage and the door cards have all been primed in UMP white and sprayed in Tamiya TS26 in a drawer over there drying. So today I'm probably going to work on the running gear and then we'll work on the interior. I've got 2 sets of belts to make on this one. Yay! And the Porsche is so simple to do. So I'm probably going to get the Beamer out of the way first, then the Porsche, and when they're both done we'll come back and do another bench update and have a little looky-see. So the spoons. So this is the control one. I've cut the name to control. This was sprayed exactly how the bike was. They both were. Both spoons were primed in UMP grey primer and then painted in Tamiya TS26, which was decanted, puffed with the UMP Apex with about 10% Mr. Hobby level and thinner, which is how I spray all the TS sprays. I've then decaled this. So the Monster decals are kit decals at that Tech 3 bike, as is the yellow, as is the DeWalt and the MMCG at the bottom as well. The AMG decals at the bottom, they're out of the new Tamiya Mercedes GT3 kit, which is Tamiya decals, not cartograph. So they're brand new Tamiya decals. And the seatbelt, that is cartograph decal out of a 2016 Alfa Romeo 155 Martini kit. So newer cartograph decals. Now what I did with this one, which has got Winsor & Newton barrier on it, is I sprayed over a very, very light coat of the Winsor & Newton clear UV cut varnish polished clear coat, sorry. It was sprayed neat out of the bottle, very, very thin coat, a couple of thin coats, and then I sprayed them both in 2K, exactly the same as the bike was done. So first coat, 2-to-1 hardener thinner, sorry, thinner again, said it again, 2-to-1 clear to hardener, so 2 parts clear, 1 part hardener. Left 10 minutes, second coat 5% thinner added, and then the third coat, another wet coat added. So a semi-wet first coat and 2 wet coats, then 5%. Now the one with the barrier is, whilst it's not a perfect 2K clear, there's been no reaction on the decals at all. As you can see, more telling, if you look at the yellow, there's no problems there at all. Nor is there on the seatbelt or the AMG decal. That's where I ripped it, so ignore that. The Monster decal is for the most part okay, bar the very top there, which is where I didn't quite get the clear coat UV obviously thick enough. It's on the leading edge as well, so it's going to be missed if anywhere there. The rest of it are fine. Now the clear coat's not as good underneath as it should be, and I think that's down to the barrier coat. I don't know. I think it might need a slightly thicker 2K on it. Now, on the spoon that was left unprotected, as you can see, the decals have been eaten alive. So all the Monster decal, the carrier film's all wrinkled to hell. As you can see, really bad. The DeWalt decal's been eaten as well. Has the center Monster decal. And worst of all, the yellow decal, if it will focus, you can't see it in the picture, so I'm hoping the camcorder will pick it up. Not only is it bubbled, it's also cracked as well. So this is with just 2K over the top, no barrier. Now the Tamiya AMG decal is perfect, as too is the other, let me just give it a polish, as too is the other seatbelt cartograph decal. So basically the only decals to be affected are the ones out of that bike kit, which tells me there's either a problem with them or they're not quite, either a problem with the ink or the carrier film, or a problem with the way the adhesives worked. So either the 2K's eaten them, which I doubt because 5% thinner is nothing. Out of a 18mm mixture, it's, you know, it's like 0.9mm. It's nothing at all. Or maybe the decals didn't go down as well as it should have. The adhesive's not as good, and the 2K's got underneath. But again, it shouldn't melt them, and it has. So to me, that proves it's those decals at that bike. So if you've got one, put a barrier coat down like that, and you should be okay. But for me, I think using that barrier coat, the 2K on the black is better on this than it is on this. So I think it needs a bit more of a coat. Now, I've never run into this problem before, and I hope never to again. So is it worth doing this barrier coat? I don't know. I've doubled up on all my decals now, so I think it's going to be a case of suck it and see. Uh-oh. I don't want to be applying that barrier coat because, as I can see on here, it's detrimental to the 2K. It doesn't quite lay down as flat underneath it. Now, there is some other stuff that Tom Myers recommended to me, which was a Cratex product, which is purposely made for this. So maybe that would work better, and maybe I'll buy some and try it. We shall see. But I hope to never run into this issue again. and when we build the next bike kit. The Repsol Honda went down perfect, so we should never see this issue again. But interesting results that the barrier coat protected those decals to a degree, except for the top, we didn't quite get it covered enough. And where I didn't, they got eaten alive. It's not a very scientific test, but it's a test, and to me, it proves that it's those decals. So I'm going to keep these. They're going to get spooned, my God, screwed up somewhere as a reminder, and we'll see what happens. Now, there are other bike kits from that age which have cartograph decals. There's 3 of them. There's a Fiat one, Rossi's bike, and then a later Estoril special edition. So we'll see at a later date. I've got aftermarket decals for the Fiat bike, not for the Estoril one, and I haven't got spare decals for that one yet either. So we shall see what happens. But anyway, there's my test results. Maybe you'll find it handy, maybe you won't. If you've got anything you want to add to it or say, please let me know in the chat and I'll respond to you there. Right, so there you go. Very interesting results with the spoons. I'm not going to go through it all again, but it just shows you I kind of... Although some people say I didn't prove it, in my eyes I did. I can see what the fault is there. It's the decals, sadly. But lesson learned, twice on 2 kits worth 80 quid a pop. But we'll repurpose some with different decals, and hopefully, at a later date, I know there's aftermarket Teckery decals for that bike, we can build it out of the box. We shall see. It's a cursed kit for me. It really, really is. But the Jägermeister Porsche is looking okay. Bit of a funny, like I say, bit of 2K on the spoiler, but not the end of the world. And the Camel Beamer, very, very happy with. Love those kits. They're great. So I'm going to crack on today. I'm going to join the hangout with some of the guys today, have a bit of a laugh. If you want to join, the link to join is in the description down below. Go to the Modelling Hangout group, join the page, click the link. You need a Google Plus account, a webcam, a mic, and come and join us. Come and have a laugh. So there we go. So as always, check out into the Scale Modeller Facebook page and forum. Links down below. umpretail.com. The links down below. The Modelling Hangout group and the Live at the Bench page. The links down below. And look at my Paul ISM page as well. And would you believe it? The link's down below. There we go. So thanks for watching today. I'll catch you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Uh-oh.